In this video, I will introduce you to the new, fun, and exciting game that I call Turbo 88, the card game you could race. More specifically, I describe the game's layout as well as some basic rules of play. Let's get started. Turbo 88 was created by Joseph and Michelle Maroney, with a little help and input and more support from our good friend Luana. The Turbo 88 deck consists of 72 cards. It has 8 suits, each represented by a color, and each suit has 8 cards, numbers 1 through 7, and a pass card. The deck also has 8 jump cards to make the game even more exciting. 2 to 4 people may play Turbo 88 at any given time. And while it's designed for ages 8 to adult, some children a bit younger may learn how to play the game well. Prior to bringing Turbo 88 to market, we tested it on all age groups and several different ethnic groups, and much to our amazement, Turbo 88 is loved by all who get their hands on it. Before I begin to explain the rules, I want you to know that in Turbo 88, the card game you can race, there are 3 stacks of cards for each player in the game: a play stack, a flip stack, and a draw stack. What are these 3 stacks for, you may ask? Let me explain them for you. First, let's discuss the play stack. The play stack begins as a single card in the middle of the table. It is where the players place their cards as they play Turbo 88. Remember, there is a play stack for each player in the game. To begin playing Turbo 88, the players simultaneously flip the play stack cards over. It's usually better if they count 1, 2, 3, and then flip. That way no one has an advantage over another. 1, 2, 3. Turbo 88 begins the same way when 3 or 4 players are in the card game. The play stack cards are flipped over simultaneously and the players take off. Each player has a draw stack. Before the play begins, players shall pull 5 cards from their respective draw stacks, as indicated in the photo of my wife and me. The object of the game is to race through the entire draw stack before the other players race through their draw stacks. In other words, it's a race to the finish. Turbo 88 has only 4 basic rules of play, which I will explain in a moment. For now, I only want to clarify what the draw stack is. That brings us to the flip stack. The flip stack is included in the play of Turbo 88 in the event that none of the players can play on any of the play stacks. The players simply count 1, 2, 3, and then flip the top flip stack card over onto the play stack. You ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Before I go into the 4 basic rules for playing Turbo 88, the card game you can race, I want to briefly describe how to deal Turbo 88, because the deal differs slightly depending on whether 2, 3, or 4 players are in the game. The play stack always begins with 1 card facing down. As I explained, the players flip these cards over once they are ready to start playing. The flip stack will have 4 cards when 2 players are in the game, 3 cards when 3 players are in the game, and 2 cards when 4 players are in the game. With more players in the game, more play stacks are available for the players to play on, and therefore less need for flip cards. This will make sense once you actually play the game a couple times. Finally, once the play stack and flip stack cards are laid out, the remaining cards in the deck are distributed evenly to the players in the game. 2 players get 31 cards each, 3 players get 20 cards each, and 4 players get 15 cards each. The table and diagram help simplify this matter. As I said earlier, players must follow 4 basic rules when playing Turbo 88. They are all very simple to follow. The first rule is that you may play 1 card higher or 1 card lower of the same color. It has to be the same color if you're going to play 1 card higher or 1 card lower. For example, if a red 2 is showing on any of the play stacks, you may place a red 1 or a red 3, since a red 1 is 1 card lower, or since a red 3 is 1 card higher. Additionally, the diagram of the red suit is circular because it demonstrates that a red 1 may go on a red 7, and a red 7 may go on a red 1. In other words, you may play a red 6 or a red 1 on a red 7. Likewise, you may play a red 2 or a red 7 on a red 1. If the card is not the same color, you may not play one card higher or one card lower. For example, you cannot play a blue 4 on a red 5. If you want to play a blue 4 under this rule, you must play it on a blue 3 or a blue 5. Remember, if the card is the same color, you can only play one card higher and one card lower. And since the 7 is the highest card, it loops around to the 1 as shown in the diagram. Each suit or color has its own wild card called a pass. The second rule states that you can play a pass on any number card that is the same color, and you can play any number card on a pass that is the same color. For example, if a yellow 3 is showing on any play stack, you could play a yellow pass on it, but not a pass of another color. Likewise, if a yellow pass is showing, you may play any yellow number card on it. The diagram shows how Rule 1 and Rule 2 work together. Rule number 3 is the same card number rule. If you have a card that is the same number as a card showing on any of the play stacks, you may play it. For example, if a red 4 is showing on the play stack and you have a green 4 and a blue 4 in your hand, you can play both 4s on top of the red 4. You can play them even in any order. After all, a card of the same number is a card of the same number. As you can see, rules 1, 2, and 3 taken together create a lot of possibilities for you to play your draw stack cards very quickly. In fact, it's turbo fast. It's a card game that you can race. The fourth and final rule of play states that a jump card trumps all other cards. In other words, a jump card can be played at any time, and any card of any color and type may be played on top of a jump card. Just like the pass cards are wild for their respective colors, jump cards are wild cards that transcend color and type. However, when you play a jump card, you must hurry and put another card on top of it. There are no turns in Turbo 88. If at any point you could play, you should do so. Remember, the object of Turbo 88 is to race through your draw stack by obeying the 4 rules of play. The winner is the one who finishes first. If 3 or 4 players are in the game, second, third, and even fourth place may be established. Before concluding, I'd like to give you a few final points to help you really understand how to play Turbo 88. First, any player can play on any of the play stacks, if they can do so in accordance with the 4 basic rules of play. In other words, all play stacks are open to all players, but be careful because hands will be flying all over the place. Second, even if you can play more than one card from your hand, you are allowed to play only one card at a time. This rule gives players a chance to play while their opponents are reaching for another card. Third, Rule 3, the same number rule, applies to pass cards. Any player can play a pass on a pass. Fourth, remember to play as quickly as you can. Turbo 88 is a racing game. Fifth, don't forget to pick up cards from your draw stacks as you play them on the play stacks. If you don't have cards in your hand, how are you going to play the game, much less win? Sixth, if you use up all the cards in the flip stacks, don't worry. All you have to do is shuffle the cards in the play stacks and use them as flip stacks. Play resumes as normal. Seventh, players are allowed to have only 5 cards in their hand at any one time. If you pick up too many cards from your draw stack, simply return them to the draw stack. Similarly, if you play an incorrect card on a play stack, simply pick it up and return it to your hand. Finally, the most important aspect of the game is to have fun. Enjoy the race as many times as you like. Turbo 88 really is a fast, fun, and exciting game. Thank you.